Before we can automate, we need to install Windows Server 2022 as well as do an upgrade. I'm going to go through a Windows Server 2022 manual installation. And what that will do for me is it will give me a list of all the different things that I'll need to manually choose. And I can then automate those using an answer file where I can go ahead and choose all the different answers ahead of time so I can walk away from my installation after I get started. There's lots of different ways to automate your server installation, but the answer file is one of the ways that goes ahead and puts in what all the common answers that you would normally choose so you can automate that information and have it customized the way you want it. If you have a key, you can enter it here, but if we're going to be using this to create, say, a template for a future automated installation, then we don't really need the key. We can go ahead and choose that later. So I'll click on I don't have a product key, and it will continue, and then it will allow us to go ahead and boot into Windows, but it won't have full functionality until we get it licensed. Now we have the option for which version of Windows Server we want. So this particular ISO file or DVD file, whatever it is that you're using, will give us specific types of installations. Yours might look different. It might just show the standard or the data center types of versions, but mine shows them both. So I'm going to choose the standard desktop experience. That will give me all the graphical user interface options that we're used to. The standard version would just end up giving us a command prompt. Now I'm going to choose to accept the license terms, click Next. Now, if I had the operating system already installed, then I could choose an upgrade, say, from 2019 to 2022, but I don't. This is a brand new installation, so you have to choose custom. If you have multiple different unallocated spaces, you can combine them into one particular partition, and you could install from there. I'm just going to go ahead and choose the one I have and click Next. Now we see the installation. The installation could take anywhere from a few minutes up to an hour. It just depends on how many resources that you have on your server. So if your server is very fast, it won't take long. But if your server's slow, then you could see quite a delay until you get to the point where it restarts into Windows Server 2022. I'm now prompted to enter the password after the installation has completed. So I'll go ahead and do that. Finish. And that's going to be the password for the administrator. If this is a workstation like Windows 11, something like that, then you would have to actually pick the username as well. The Windows Server installation is complete. As you can see, you don't get the same types of questions that you get when you boot into Windows 10 or 11 the first time. It just takes you right into Server Manager, prompts you about the Windows Admin Center, and you can go ahead and start working. Manually installing Windows Server 2022 gives you a good idea of what settings need to be set when you plan your automated installation scheme.